Hello, my name is John Brannon, and I'm a licensed real estate broker in the state of California and co-founder of LenderLetter. Welcome to the Loan Officer Fast Track Training for LenderLetter. For those of you new to LenderLetter, you might be thinking, well, what is LenderLetter? Well, LenderLetter is a tool that will strengthen your realtor-buyer relationship. It will eliminate the inconvenient task of updating pre-approval letters by you, the loan officer, especially on your evenings and weekends. Bottom line is LenderLetter gives you complete control of the whole pre-approval letter process, and it's a big time saver. So we're going to log in to begin our fast track training. We're going to log in as a loan officer, but I just wanted to bring your attention to the sign up button. If you are interested in signing up, please contact your loan manager after this training. Thanks for your patience. So let's go ahead and log in. Now we're going to log in as a loan officer. In this case, it's a fictitious loan officer named Larry Lender with the fictitious lender, Loans R Us. But today, we are going to be reviewing the essential fast track training for loan officers. As a result, from this training, you'll learn how to copy a company-approved pre-approval letter template and create an editable pre-approval letter for your realtors. And by the way, we'll be covering just the main essentials in this training, so I'll be skipping some of the steps for expedience sake. However, all the details and step-by-step instructions are available by clicking here on the side menu at the Lender Help button. Lastly, I wanted to bring to your attention that live fast track training for your company and loan officers is available, including a Q&A session. Just please contact me after the training. So let's get started. Let's go to the pre-approval button here, template button, and we're going to click on that. There's a pull-down menu. We're going to go right to the company template library, and this is the company-approved template that all loan officers can use to create their pre-approval letter. So let's go ahead and click the action button, copy or clone the template. And we're going to call this template Joe Buyer template, because Joe Buyer is the fictitious buyer in this scenario. So let's save it. And you see that this has been created. So let's open up the editor and take a closer look at this template. Now this is our online editor. And with this editor, you're able to go in and make adjustments to this template. Now, what adjustments would you make as a loan officer? Well, the variables, these bracketed items, are already set by the company. So they're ready to go. What you would change as a loan officer is make sure your name is correct. In this situation, we've already pre-filled this with Larry the Lender as a loan officer. There's his signature, pasted in, cut and pasted. And there are other information pertinent to the loan officer. So that's really the only thing a loan officer needs to do. Otherwise, they can preview this letter, just take one last look at it. And it looks good. And then we go ahead and update it. Now, note, this is a generic letter. It is not representative of your company's pre-approval template, but it does have some familiarity to it. So let's go ahead and let's get out of this my templates. We're going to go right up to the next phase, which is the editing of the pre-approval letter itself. So this is the buyer window that just opened up. And we have the buyer's already been entered, Joe Buyer, but for reference purposes, I'm going to click on Add Buyer. This is how you would add a new buyer. You would type in their name, you would email, you would assign the agent. If there's no agent, you can use TBD at LenderLetter.com. Sometimes buyers come direct to the loan officer without a realtor. So that's how that would look. Let's go back to the buyer table. I wanted to show you and highlight one of the main attributes of LenderLetter, and that is the 100% control it gives to the loan officer and lender. One of those fail-safe features is the override button. Now, this override button, when it's off, it means that the agent, the realtor, cannot edit the letter. The only way they can edit the letter is if it's green. Then the lender has given the buyer's agent the authority to edit the lenders, just as this tooltip says up here. So that is reflective of the control that you have as the loan officer over who edits the letter. So let's turn this green because Joe Buyer and Hank Holmes, the realtor, are working together, and you're giving Hank Holmes the authority to edit the letter. So let's go ahead and open up the letters by clicking on the letter button. Now we could also, this letter has already been added, and but in case we needed to add a letter, then it's very simple. You click the add letter button and you fill in the information and the template, and you're ready to go with a new letter. Now let's open up this letter, and so this is the pre-approval letter. The variables that were in the template, they now are here in this window, and including the name of the letter, which is Joe Buyer's letter, and then also the other variables that were in the template, such as the date, the borrower's name, all the way down to loan amount and down payment. The max price. This is the amount that you, the loan officer, has approved the buyer to as the maximum price they can afford. But for the pre-approval letter purposes, we're going to put in the max price that they can afford, because at this point we don't know what the property is that they are purchasing, because it's not been found yet. Hank and Joe are out there looking in the market for that property. So for the time being, we're just going to use the offering price of $1 million, and it's reflected up here with the down payment and loan amount. Over on the right side of this window are two columns, the allow edit and the visible column. Now the allow edit column, it just as it says, this is where you would allow these variables, or some of these variables, or none of these variables, to be edited by the realtor. In this case, you're going to allow Hank Holmes, the realtor, to edit the price up to the max price. It cannot be exceeded, and I will demonstrate that here shortly. On the right-hand column are the visible components, the visible variables, and you would click these if you want them to show up in your letter. In this case, all of them would be click visible, except for this bottom feature, which is not included in the letter. So everything else is clicked. So at this point, you're ready to authorize this letter by clicking the update button. And here it is at the top of the list. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to view this letter. And you can see that the offering price is the maximum amount of $1 million, and all the other features of this letter are in order, including the QR code, which is the process of authenticating this letter was created by you. It's another fail-safe feature of LenderLetter. So now, a couple more things to mention. When this letter, these variables were completed, it was saved, both the realtor and the buyer received an email from you automatically stating that you had created or updated a pre-approval letter. Also, this letter was automatically inserted into the realtor's dashboard and the buyer's dashboard. So let's go ahead and log out of the loan officer dashboard. And now what I like to do at this point is I want to show you how easy, safe, and secure it is for the realtor to update the pre-approval letter. So I'm going to log in as the fictitious realtor, Hank Holmes. This is Hank's dashboard. And any realtor would have a dashboard looking very much like this. So let's assume at this point a day or two has gone by and Hank, the realtor, has found a property for the buyer. He's prepared an analysis and they're meeting to draft an offer. So unless the offer is going to be for $1 million, this letter is going to have to be updated, right? So here's how it works from the realtor dashboard. This is the letter created by Larry the lender, and Hank is going to open this letter up, and there it is, all the information, the loan summary, and here are the variable fields as the realtor sees them. You can see that there are grayed out areas. I'm trying to click on these, and I can't click them because they're only visible, they're not editable. The only thing that's editable is the $1 million. So let's just say that for argument's sake, that let's see what happens if we try to go over the $1 million. Well, that's well over the $1 million. We don't have to go that high. Let's just go over by a dollar, and let's see if it updates. The system will not let it update. This is a fail-safe system. So that max price cannot be exceeded. But let's say that Hank and Joe have decided to make an offer at $950,000, and they're writing this offer up at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday night. And I'm sure you, as the loan officer, are enjoying a quiet evening at home, right? Well, here's the beauty of LenderLetter. Hank has just updated this pre-approval letter. And now Hank is going to check that letter for accuracy, and it looks good. It's got your signature. It's $950,000. It's well within the $1 million max price. It's got the QR code down at the bottom, and it's ready to go. Now Hank can attach this letter. Let's open it up again. He can attach this letter. He can save it, or he can print it and attach it with the purchase agreement and send it off to the listing agent. Now, let's do a quick review. We know that this letter was updated sometime Tuesday evening, and you, the loan officer, guess what? You didn't have to do a thing. No more interruptions at odd hours of the night or day. Relax and let LenderLetter make it all happen seamlessly, safely, and automatically. Hey, by the way, when an update is made by the realtor, such as when Hank just updated the pre-approval letter, you were notified immediately by email of that change. So that concludes our fast track training, and I want to thank you and hope that we can talk soon. Bye-bye.